Hi, welcome back to Snark and Spark. My name is Emily and today I have a Stitch With Me video. Um, gosh, so by the time you see this, I don't even think we'll be in September anymore, but it is currently September for me. This one will not be very long because it is going on lunchtime and I ordered lunch in today to treat myself and I thought I could film while I wait for my lunch to get here. And yes, I am drinking coffee. This is one of my new favorite mugs. I'm gonna tilt it carefully so I don't spill coffee. I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. I feel like I showed this, and then on the inside, mischief managed, and on this side of it, ooh. I'm good. Okay, don't do that anymore. Drink break. Yeah, my food will be here very, very soon. I'm kind of hoping that they don't ring the doorbell though, because if they don't ring the doorbell, then I can just end this smoothly and it'll be fine. It's kind of a catch-22. I don't know if they are going to or not. I'll explain. Let's get started. So this is my storybook Halloween piece. It was the Halloween Stitch Along for 2021 from Stitcherovia. I am on the called for fabric, the called for using the floss because I bought it as a kit. I feel so smart because remember last time I was struggling with my pattern because I didn't want to show it, copyright reasons, plus they work hard on this. My pattern is right up here so I can see it easily because I forgot I have this. Sorry, also my neighbors are doing yard work because it's not as blisteringly hot today. So this little doohickey, when it folds up flat like this, doesn't look like much, but it is this plastic, it is a pattern holder. It's awesome. So it's got this little lip here, as you can see, to set in a board or a pattern. Obviously they're assuming that you have it on something, so it's gonna sit in that groove. This is it folded up. You just flip it completely around and it sets upright and it is sturdy enough. My pattern was there the whole time. Oh, crap. But it was, so this is a magnetic board that I have my pattern obviously attached to on the other side. And I'm just going to set it back up. So now it's upright. I can see it and I don't have to worry about having it next to me or showing it accidentally, which is really, really exciting. This pattern, let me double check, is pattern number 11 from this, and I believe it's Lizzie Borden. 2021. I have all these patterns because pattern 10 is done. Pattern 11 is, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It is not Lizzie Borden. This is The Woman in Black, which is based off of a novel. So the quote that goes with it, we have The Woman in Black is a horror novel that was written in 1983 by Susan Hill, mimicking the classic Gothic style in which a young solicitor travels to a remote village where he discovers that the vengeful ghost of a scorned woman is terrorizing the locals. I feel like it's on my list of books to read. You can see it there. That's what it's gonna look like. The quote from the book is, "I was forced to live through it all every minute and then every day thereafter." Susan Hill, The Woman in Black. Perfect. Okay, let's get going. And I was smart, or at least I thought I was smart earlier, in that I went ahead and pulled all of the stranded floss off and have attached it to my fun floss drop needle minder combo so that I wasn't fiddling with trying to get it off of the holder. and, you know, getting in the way and all that fun stuff. Oh, look, I went right through it. So yeah, in that way it's already there. Plus I feel like I'm really proud that I did that because Washington, of course, I sat down at the desk and he, you know, takes that as an invitation for me to, obviously I'm not doing anything, so it's an invitation for him to just join me and sit on me, essentially. And it's like, no, buddy, that's not what I was, okay, thank you. That's not what I was doing. I'm trying to do something every single time I sit at my desk. Like, not just when I'm filming. Every single time I sit at my desk, Washington decides that he wants to join. Anyways, as I was saying, with my food, I'm stitching while I'm waiting for my food because it's lunchtime on my day off. And I was like, I'm hungry and I don't have lunch stuff right now at home. I'm going to order food because I want to. And I'm trying a new place, just a sandwich place that showed up. So I was like, I'll give it a try. But sometimes, depending on the driver, sometimes they will ring the doorbell. Sometimes they knock on my door. Sometimes they don't do either. They just leave it. And then, you know, I get a text message, notification, whatever, that both actually, that says, hey, your food is here. And then I go to the door and I get it. So I'm kind of hoping that it's one of those today, that I have a driver that drops it and then I get a text message. Because one, when they ring the doorbell or they knock on the door, the dogs obviously get really upset and they start to bark and they go crazy. And it just then makes getting my food kind of a hassle because then I have to calm them down and like get them to back off from the door kind of thing. Especially when I'm home alone. My boy, Eisenhower, is very protective of like the house and like, you know, like us when, especially when my husband isn't home. So Eisenhower will watch outside the windows and he barks and he's like on high alert. We've never had an incident or anything like that. I think he just like feels like he has to, you know, he's got to keep an eye on things when dad's not home. Which is really sweet, but it's also like really obnoxious because he uses his big boy bark and barks at everything and is like, get off my lawn. And so he definitely freaks out when the door gets knocked on or the doorbell is rung. So, but if they just leave it and then text me, then they don't freak out. And then also, like I said, I can just pause this or like end it gracefully and it's not a big deal. So, my thing is showing me I have about 10 minutes before they get here. Right? Let me double check. But, I have a story that I want to share. So, refresh. My map hasn't refreshed. They'll be here soon. I know which way they're coming. Okay. So, last night, gosh, this is why I also wanted to do these videos, because I feel like I have fun little stories that I think I've said before, I don't feel like adding into my like stitchy videos, or by the time like they, you know, they happen on like a day where it's not close to me filming and it's like, oh, well, guess I missed telling that story kind of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is your 7. So we have a garden. My husband has gotten really into gardening. He was really interested in it last summer. We tried some things. He wanted to do something different this year. So we have like a much bigger space, and different gardening styles, like a setup. So we have an abundance of tomatoes, because this is part of like that funny story when my husband planted things. He did not take into account that tomatoes are prolific, to say the least. So he chose 3 different varieties of tomatoes to plant, which on its own, that would be a lot, that would be a lot of tomatoes, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one gets 3, and then this is up. Gosh, counting and talking. I don't want to mess up too much, So, gosh, anyways, we have a bunch of tomatoes, and 3 plants, that alone is a lot. We have San Marzano, we have yellow pear tomatoes, and we have like little yellow heirloom tomatoes. So yellow pear and the yellow heirloom are both like like grape sized tomatoes. And then San Marzano, if you don't know, I suggest look at a picture of a San Marzano, but they are kind of rectangular shaped, and they're like oblong, like they're long and like narrow, like tubes, and they're used for like making sauce. Is primarily what they're like used for, is making pasta sauce and stuff. Now he also planted a bunch of them, and I don't just mean he dropped in a couple seeds of each. He dropped like 6 seeds per plant, which would be like 18 plants. Oh, yep. So the tomatoes have just exploded. We have an overabundance of tomatoes of all kinds and shapes and sizes, and we just have a lot, and it is way more than we can eat in our family of 3. And I mean, we are cooking with them. I'm taking them to work as snacks. We've sent them with our son to school as snacks. I have taken bags of them to work for coworkers to take. It's a lot. We have frozen some, so we have a bunch. Now, I tell you all this because my husband is trying to come up with different ideas for how to use all of these tomatoes, and he has made salsa with them. He made his own pasta sauce recently with them. And I love my husband, but he's kind of chaotic in the kitchen. I like a recipe. I need a recipe. It needs to be very exact. I follow measurements. I follow steps to the letter. He does not. He is a whirlwind. He gets an idea in his head and he just kind of throws things in a pan or a pot and sees what works out, kind of thing. It is definitely his method of cooking. So when he cooks, I have to walk away because it will stress me out otherwise. I walk away. I will leave him unattended in our kitchen. His newest thing that he decided he wanted to try making is hot sauce. He loves hot sauce. He loves spicy food. He puts hot sauce on almost everything. It does not matter like what it is. He puts hot sauce on it, which is fine. People give him... Oh, my food's here. I'm going to pause it. I'm so glad I paused it. My food's here! I'm excited. I'm going to let it there. It is hot, so this is kind of nice. It's going to sit, it's going to cool off, and then I will eat, and that gives me time to finish my story. I am glad I paused it because she rang the doorbell. Anyways. Oh gosh. Hot sauce, blah, 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 blah. Something else that we have grown in our garden, and this is relevant, is hot peppers. So my husband planted jalapenos and cayenne peppers, and then which are spicy, but he also planted banana peppers because banana peppers are not spicy, and I like banana peppers. Now, we've talked to some farmer friends. We think that our banana peppers and our jalapenos cross-pollinated because the jalapenos, we've kind of run into this now, or my husband has, because I don't try them. He has bitten into a jalapeno, and it is not spicy at all whatsoever. But then he has also bitten into it, and it is burns his mouth spicy. So I don't know if that will affect our banana peppers. They really didn't produce. So I don't know if we picked a banana pepper, if some of them will be spicy and some of them won't be. It would be interesting to see, but it is a little nerve-wracking to kind of think about that happening. But we have jalapenos and we have our cayennes, and they are spicy to his liking, which is really nice for him. So I'm giggling because literally this just happened last night. He took some harvest of his jalapenos, and he took some harvest of his cayennes, and maybe some of the serrano we got from our farmer friends, and he decided he's going to make his own hot sauce. Mind you, he works late on Tuesday evenings, so he didn't get home till after 8 o'clock. And then by that point, we put our kid to bed, he's putzing around, so it is 9 o'clock at night, right? And he's in our kitchen. I have changed into my evening clothes, I was in my pajamas, I was sitting on the couch, happily, I had a bowl of yogurt and granola, got my TV show on, because I finally, it took me forever to finish the second season of Criminal Minds, because I'm doing a rewatch of it, was about to start the third season of Criminal Minds, ready to get comfy. My stitching is next to me, the dogs are chill. And he's in there, and he's cutting up his stuff, and he's got the garlic, and he's got the seasoning, right? He essentially looked up, how to make a hot sauce, what kind of things do you need? And, was looking at that. But he didn't do any research beyond that of, how to make a hot sauce, right? Water break. Drink water. Stay hydrated. Do I need another light on? Oof. That's better. Oh, Bryant. I love him so much. He just makes silly decisions sometimes. I'm going to count this real quick. You're going to hear my clicker. I am pausing and counting because I need to get to 4,200 and take a picture of it, because that marks 1,000 stitches kind of thing for me. And I need to send a picture of that, take a picture of that for one of the groups I'm in. Anyways, so he's got his ingredients, he is doing his thing. And he gets out a pot, he gets out a pan, he's got his peppers all cut up, seeds and all kind of thing, and he turns it up high. He's got high heat, gets his oil hot, and he throws in his peppers and some vinegar and he starts cooking. And after a little bit, it starts to not be so pleasant in my house. Meaning, it's kind of smelly. It's really strong vinegar smell, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. It was weird. And I walked in there to like talk to him instead of like yelling across our downstairs, especially because our son was supposed to be in bed. And I'm like, ooh, this is really messing with my nose. And I start to sneeze. I sneeze a couple times. And, when you sneeze, afterwards, maybe your nose is a little snotty. Maybe you need to blow your nose. That's normal. But my nose just kept running. It would not stop running, right? And I'm like, what is going on? And then the longer this is happening, the more unpleasant it is starting to become in my house to sit in my living room. Now, my downstairs, the living room has like an open, like floor plan kind of thing. So like our living room, dining room, quote unquote, kitchen is all just like, there's no walls. It's just this one open area, which normally is fine. I love it. That was a problem last night because the fumes that this was creating were so strong. I start to cough. He starts coughing. He starts like gagging. And I'm like, hey, this may seem silly, but like, I think we need to put masks on. And so, we pulled out our masks. Thank you, COVID, for all of us having masks. And we're wearing masks in our house. And that helps for a little bit, but it was like too late, right? And I'm going, this isn't right. So I look up on my phone. Did you know it is not recommended for you to cook spicy peppers like that in your house? Yeah. So did not do his research, right? I was on like the poison control website because, and I can still like feel it today that like my throat is irritated. It says if you're going to cook spicy peppers like that, you, one, do not cook them inside your house. You should cook them outside on a grill. But if you absolutely have to cook them in your house, do so on low heat, like very, very low heat, low and slow kind of thing. And essentially, not all at once. My husband did the opposite of that. Threw them in like a blisteringly hot pan immediately. And the reason you're not supposed to do that, let me enlighten you, because we just learned a very valuable lesson, is because when you cook peppers like that, they will release capsaicin into the air. And capsaicin is that chemical that makes things spicy. Yeah. So when the capsaicin gets released into the air, instead of, eating it and like feeling that feeling of spiciness of like, burning tongue, lips, numbing, tingling, that kind of thing, you inhale it. And when you inhale it, it irritates your nasal passages, your throat, essentially your respiratory tract, because you inhale it into your lungs, which causes you to cough. And it does not feel good. In my case, I was also sneezing. So my husband essentially like poisoned our house with toxic fumes. We ended up having to like open a bunch of our windows downstairs, and I took the dogs outside. Luckily our kid, Caden, was already upstairs, like in his room with his door closed, and it really didn't seem to go upstairs all that much. The cat was upstairs with him. But yeah, he made our house toxic. Just minorly. And I mean, I couldn't stop laughing. I really couldn't. I could have been mad and, frustrated. Like, it's 9 o'clock at night. You decide to make sauce or spicy hot sauce and you didn't do your proper research. I could have been mad. I wasn't. It was really funny. I was outside between like coughing and trying to like blow my nose / like wipe my nose. I was laughing. I really was. I was just out there giggling my butt off because it was so funny. And he got the worst of it. And like, you can't be mad at him either because, he was standing right above those pans, directly like inhaling that. And like, his face was red. His eyes were like running. He was like gagging. I was afraid he was going to throw up kind of thing. We had to like do like a nasal spray for him. So, and he felt awful. Like, not just physically, but he was like, I am so sorry. I did not do my research. I didn't think that would happen. I didn't know that this was a thing. I will do better next time. Like, I will do my research kind of thing. I was like, it's not a big deal. It is not the end of the world. Like, you made a mistake. You just didn't, you didn't read all the way down the list of instructions kind of thing. So, yeah, that happened last night. Spent a good amount of time just hanging out outside. And what made it worse, and he felt bad too, was because it was so hot yesterday. We had this like unseasonably warm weather. We were in like a minor like heat wave kind of thing, like heat advisory. And it was still super hot, right? My pajamas are breathable, but they are like long pants because they're comfy. And so, we have the windows open and it's hot, and then we have to go outside and it's hot. Like, it was just a mess, but it was so funny. I just couldn't stop laughing. And I thought I would share that because only me and only my husband, because he tries so hard. He does. He tries so hard to do things, and he means well. He means well. So, yeah. That was my night last night. But we now have hot sauce. We have homemade hot sauce, and he's very proud of it. He says it tasted good. Bless him. Bless him. Bless him. He tried so hard, and it just... Oh, crap. I didn't know how many I just clicked. Hang on. Okay. Oop, I got over the stitches I need, and that's okay. That's alright. It still counts. It's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna pause this one here. I know I didn't really get a whole lot of stitches in, but I just had to tell that story. Thank you for hanging out. I'll do another one of these like really soon. But that's the story I have for you. Thanks for being here. Happy stitching, happy watching, happy listening, happy reading, happy doing whatever it is that makes you happy. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Be easy with your hearts.